Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking all about intuitive eating. It's something I get asked about all of the time because it's obviously something that I do and people are intrigued. People want to know how I do it, why they should do it, and why it's so great. So first, what is intuitive eating? Basically, it is listening to your body. It is knowing when you're full. It's knowing your hunger cues. It's knowing when you're malnourished of a certain nutrient and being able to act upon that. It's just listening to your body, and it's not necessarily planning what you're going to have for your next 5 meals for the week ahead. It's just being able to kind of eat what you crave. You might eat all of the good stuff, then have like a biscuit because you really fancy that, but it's also being able to stop at one. So yeah, that's what intuitive eating is to me. And I think there's a time when people get into health and fitness where they discover health and fitness and it's the best thing ever. Like, people are so excited to exercise, you're so excited to eat all the healthy things, like have a matcha latte and zoats, and it's all fantastic. And then as you get into it and you start to follow people on social media, you then start to become consumed within food, and you don't necessarily see food as food anymore. It starts to turn into numbers, calories, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fats, and it's quite like draining and daunting, and you stop living and you stop actually being healthy anymore. Like, you're mentally not healthy if you're so consumed by food. So people kind of go through that kind of part, whether it's consuming in the food or within the exercise, and starting to feel bad from eating things and feeling bad if you don't exercise, and eventually people are then able to come out of the other side, and that other side is just training when you're feeling great, and training to feel great. It's eating to feel good and to nourish yourself and to be energized, and that place there is liberating. And I really want this video to help you guys get from, if you're in this middle ground at the moment, I want you to help you get from here to there. So why do people struggle with eating intuitively? I can put my hands up high and say I thought I was eating intuitively at one point in my life, and that was when I had recovered from anorexia. In between my anorexia and competing stage, I thought I knew how to listen to my body, but I did not. I didn't at all, and I think that had come from a time of being so obsessed about food that I wanted to be more in a fuck it mode, where I just wanted to just eat anything and everything, and that proved how recovered I was. And I wasn't listening to my body. I was just like eating because I wasn't counting calories and I wasn't counting macros. But if we don't look at me and we look at the general population, a lot of people don't know how to differentiate hunger from boredom. A lot of people don't know when they're feeling malnourished of a certain nutrient, and say they're experiencing like bloating or skin is starting to go dry and peel off. A lot of people don't understand that is because of they're lacking in a certain nutrient that they probably could get from food or supplement. A lot of people just generally don't know how to portion size and portion control, and what a protein is from a fat. So that is why most people struggle. That is the general population. But if you're someone who is in this middle ground of being kind of consumed within your health and fitness journey, the reason why I struggled, and this could be why you're struggling too, is because I thought if I stop tracking macros and I stop counting calories, I'm going to lose all of my results. All of them. Like, I'm either going to lose lots of weight or I'm going to get really fat. And I was more scared of the gaining weight. I was really scared of it, and I thought, like, if I go a calorie over, then oh my god, the world will end. Lo and behold, 2 years on, I've not counted calories or macros for like 2 years now, and I think I'm looking alright. when I came out of competing, it was obviously gonna be like quite a big struggle for me to just start eating normally, but I knew it was something that I had to do. It's something that I really wanted to do. I, at this point in my life, had just gotten into a new relationship, and he was not a macro counter. He ate healthy because he's a personal trainer too, but I was like, if I go around to his house and just start weighing my chicken, he's going to think I am a freaking weirdo. So I need to get out of this habit, because it was a habit that I didn't even want to be in. So, you know, I struggled for about a year to be able to just like genuinely listen to my body and know when I'm full, know when I'm eating way too much, and to be able to, do you know, if I fancied, like my thing's biscuits, if I fancied a biscuit, how to actually stop at one and not eat the whole pack. And I learned through that year. My kind of first steps to being able to come away from tracking macros and things like that was first just starting to get creative with food. Instead of obviously just eating kind of chicken, rice, veggies, I started to get creative. I started to make like a Thai green curry, or I would make a chili, I would make a bolognese and stuff like that. And those added ingredients, obviously I didn't know how many calories there were in there, but I just got I always make everything from fresh anyway. But I just allow myself to follow like Jamie Oliver recipes and Lean in 15, and just get creative without obsessing about what was in that food. And that was obviously just a little bit of a step, because that increased my calories. So that was quite a good step and quite a big step for me, and that allowed me to have my first step of kind of setting myself free. I then deleted my FitnessPal. Now I have my FitnessPal back on my phone, because it's how I can work out around about how many calories my clients need, but I don't use it for myself. And I deleted it from my phone for about 6 months, and that just meant that I couldn't track. I couldn't like look if I'd eaten too much or eaten too little, and that just deleting it felt so good. I obviously, coming into a new relationship, you're always wanting to go out and eat food and get takeaways and stuff like that, and I was just open to it, and I just started to, I would say yes to going out with my friends more, say yes to a good night out, and in doing that I started to enjoy life a lot more, and started to see the reason why you should come away from tracking food, and why you shouldn't consume your life around food, because there was actual life to be lived. I then just stopped stressing about my body. I think from obviously the time, my journey going from losing all the weight and becoming anorexic, and then coming back up to a healthy weight and adding a bit more weight on than I actually wanted, and then going into bikini competing, throughout that whole time I was obsessed with my body, and I still felt like I had to look a certain way, and I still felt like I had to be a certain way, and if I didn't have that perfect body, then I wasn't like good enough, and I wasn't pretty, and I wasn't beautiful. And I think a lot of it came from meeting my other half, who's obviously like heaven sent. I think I've mentioned him 3 times in this video already. I just started to see like my inner beauty, and why I actually was beautiful, and why I actually was like a really great person. And I started to value myself on my work ethic and my drive, and how much I am achieving at my age, and my ability to be confident, my knowing what my actual mission was, and being able to go out there and speak confidently in front of women about a subject I was so passionate about. And in doing all of that, I stopped being so obsessed with abs, and I don't know what else you get obsessed with, like how big my shoulders were, and did I have cellulite, and did I have body fat and stuff like that, and that's obviously, again, it's something that you have to really work on. But being able to stop obsessing with what I really looked like was, again, it's just so amazing. And my next point then is I just stopped stressing altogether. I stopped stressing about food, and I stopped stressing about what I looked like, because I started to relate food to how I felt, and food to my performance, and food to my ability to be able to hold a really great conversation with someone. So with that not stressing, and with me just starting to eat normally, with me starting to listen to my body, with me starting to enjoy life a lot more, I started to actually look and feel 10 times better. And there was like a time when I was in London, and and I was with Tally and Zana, and they was like, Vic, you look amazing. And I was like, do I? I was like, I just like eat and I just like work out when I can, and to hear that made me feel like really quite fab. And then I was like, I do actually look amazing. And I genuinely think that it's because I stopped stressing. The best thing I learned throughout the whole of my kind of foodie journey, and the biggest kind of step to actually eating intuitively. So obviously this video isn't about me, it's about you and how I can help you come away from macro counting or counting calories, or if you just started your fitness journey and you don't really know how to eat, like how you can kind of go about that and go about just eating healthily and not really getting obsessed with food. So step number 1, if you are someone who's counting macros or calories, delete MyFitnessPal. Like straight up delete it. Go on your phone now and delete that app, because I know when it's there, you're just like, oh, I'll just type it in quick and just see. Just, if it's not there, then you can't do it, okay? And let me just tell you that if you have counted macros for a very long time, you'll probably know already how much food that you need, and you'll probably know what X amount of chicken is and what X amount of rice is and what X amount of potato is. Like, you don't need to keep putting that into MyFitnessPal, or even worse, like weighing that food. You don't need to do that. On the other hand, I don't want this to sound like it's contradicting, but if you are someone who's starting your fitness journey, maybe you're quite underweight, maybe you're quite overweight, and you don't really have any knowledge about food whatsoever, I do recommend that you go through like a week or 2 weeks of working out what your body does need. Are you eating too little right now? Are you eating too much right now? And what an actual portion is like. So there are ways you can do that with like hands and things like that. Or I do often suggest to my clients that they should weigh things for a week, or like for a couple of days. So see how much like 100 grams of chicken is and how much a certain amount of rice is and stuff like that. So just so they get an idea of what portions should look like. And from that, it's then literally just eat. My second piece of advice is to see food for its nutritional value, not for its numbers. Like a lot of the time, if someone is tracking macros, I know when I was tracking macros and calories, I was actually feeling quite unhealthy. My skin was getting dry, my hair was falling out, and that was because I was lacking in some of the most needed nutrients, but it didn't fit my calories, so I couldn't have it. Whereas now I just make sure I have like a nice colourful plate. I use loads of veggies, I use all fresh spices and stuff like that, and yeah, it's 10 times better. Teach yourself or challenge yourself to eat what you're craving, but be able to stop at 1 or 2, okay? So with me, that's biscuits. I love biscuits, and I don't necessarily believe in cheat meals. My weekends are generally more relaxed because I'm with my other half and we'll go out for food and stuff like that. But during the week, I will not be like, I can't eat that, I've got to wait until the weekend. That doesn't go through my mind anymore. I do like to eat what I crave. So if I do fancy a biscuit at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll have a biscuit. But I've also got the strength and the mentality to be able to just stop at that one biscuit, because I know that's not the last biscuit I'm going to have in my entire life. So if that is something that you struggle with, and you know that you have nailed eating normally, but then as soon as you have like that one sweet treat, it just triggers you off to eat loads of that thing, challenge yourself to having one of it. And maybe do that every single day, or have one of something that you really fancy every single day. Challenge yourself to stop at that one thing. Next, it's eating slowly when you're having your meals. Like, slow it down and start to recognize when you're starting to feel full. If you're starting to feel full, obviously it's strange when you've come from counting macros, because those are your macros and you need to finish everything on that plate. But now with your intuitive eating, like if you can make a meal, but then you slow eating down, you start to recognize when you're full, and then you just stop eating there. Like, throw the food away, give it to somebody else. Like, you don't need to finish everything that's on that plate. That's one of the best things to learn, is to just understand like your hunger cues. Oh, as I just said that, my belly rumbled. I'm so hungry right now. So yeah, try to recognize when you're hungry. If you feel like you're a boredom eater, find something else that can kind of curb that. So something that I do, I usually always have a bottle of water nearby, and I'll drink some water. If I'm craving, but I know I'm just craving because I'm bored, my go-to is like hot chocolate, or a pot of jelly or something like that, some berries, a handful of fruit. That is my kind of go-to if I'm just boredom eating. My last piece of advice for you is to not stress. Like, if you can stop really obsessing about your body and start to see this thing as you're in it for life, like you want to be fit and healthy for life, then it doesn't really matter if you gain a few pounds. Like, we was at an event the other day and somebody said, Vic, you posted on Instagram how you love your rolls. So my tummy rolls, don't know if you can see it on here, but I obviously have tummy rolls. I can have abs if I sit up like this and tense my tummy, but yeah, I have tummy rolls. I'm just a human. And somebody said, why do you love them? How do you love them? And my reply was like, these rolls represent life, the life that I'm living and the life that I absolutely love. These rolls, so this one is all of the gin and tonics. I love gin. I'm starting to become a bit of a gin connoisseur. So this is my gin, this is my biscuits, this is my going out with Mike and enjoying food and life. So yeah, my fat represents my life. Like, as long as you're staying healthy and you're staying fit and you are exercising and you're looking after yourself, like, you don't need to stress, and you don't need to obsess about having like a six-pack and a thigh gap and whatever else girls want. Get rid of your hip dip. I heard that one the other day. So yeah, as long as you can stop stressing about that, and then, do you know, if you go out and you have a meal which is something that you wouldn't usually have, don't stress about that and just kind of eat it, get on with it the next day. Like, try not to starve yourself the next day, like just starting to eat like normal. Like, your hormones will become balanced and your body will enjoy that, and your body will start to work with you, not against you. So yeah, that's my final tip for you, don't stress. So I hope this video really helped some people out there and answered a few questions. So yes, if you like the video, please give it a like. If there is any other kind of topics that you really want me to touch on, please just leave me a comment down in the comments below. And if you want to see more of my things, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, guys.